So here it is, guys, the Switch 2. You've seen many unboxings, but hopefully nothing quite like this one. So for some reason, my bottom's already open a little bit here. But let's see how the Switch 2 box looks. We're going to give a little bit of a review of the exterior as well as the interior. And there should be a setup portion as well. Maybe. Let me know if you want that if I haven't done it already. And it says you expect using the core red, team red, hashtag team red and all that. This one's the Mario Kart World Edition one, as you can see here. So I don't know if we have a case in here or just a code card thing. I think it's a download code included there. So it's a download code. I think if you buy the physical version of that, it's an actual cart as opposed to a code. Some of the other parts that we'll be unboxing, such as these, are, as you can see, game key cards. But that's for another portion and or another video. So for some reason my bottom was open, as I alluded to already. I hope that doesn't mean it's been replaced with a brick, because this is quite heavy. Oh wait, now the top's open. This was not open before, so it must have ripped itself. Okay, perfect though. Saves us time. We don't have to cut anything open. So you got the demonstration of the play there on the side in what they call it, tabletop mode. It's a clean looking, sorry Link, didn't mean to do that. Clean looking box. Oh, it looks like I've even swooped to that. Yeah, let's get that fixed. It's a clean looking box overall. Handheld mode. And then it's telling us what we're getting in the box, which should be the screen, the Joy-Cons, HDMI cable, I think that is there, USB cable, charging the charge unit, oh, the sort of controller embed thing there, wrist thing so you don't smash up your television and all that good stuff. That's the HDMI cable. What's that? That's the USB cable. And then documentation. Let's get into it now then. So cardboard, it's clean feeling. Obviously you can get them cuts, get Nintendo right at the top here. I'm going to move this mic a little bit, I keep hitting it. And this needs to stop being moved by my waist. So it's going to put it there. There we go. So you can just pull it out like so, I'd say. Now, some of you failed. I'm going to turn it over like that. There we go. Some of you may have heard about GameStop stapling the box at the front and damaging people's screens, which is a lot of fun. Which is just what you want when you're getting your new device, which you can imagine is a lot of fun. Hold up, it's not opening here yet. So some people got damaged screens, some people got their pre-orders cancelled. It's now the 7th of June at time of recording. So let me know if you guys have got this Switch 2, Nintendo Switch 2, if you're getting it, and what you think about people getting damaged screens because GameStop employees decided to staple it. Just what you always wanted. Okay, so there's a start information right at the front here. So you just plug everything in and you kind of good to go. Hold buttons, then you have to detach the Joy-Cons, support information, how to turn it on and so on. Looks like it's flapping upwards, and I've just knocked Link out of the way again. Link's trying to fight getting knocked down, but it's just not happening. Here we go. Can't see my preview anymore, just notice I'm doing it like that. So Joy-Cons, well, I guess it's the Joy-Con 2s at this point. Orange and blue. The display itself, core of the device. We're going to look at the most interesting parts first, which will mean the documentation, of course. There's something underneath here. There's our documentation, and looks like cables underneath, maybe. Whoa, I've got a code here shown. My game code. It will be used by the time anyone sees it. I'll get that out of the way now. So there's your how your game will look there with the code. Bundle pack version, as it says, and you'll have the number. And in the back there like that. ASMR part here. important information. We'll get all these out first. That's the entirety of this box. And underneath that, we have even more cool stuff. It looks like the native controller mode conveyor. Look at that momentarily as well. Plugs. Yeah, plug stuff. This is European version, so we've got European plugs there. We'll get a close look at that in a moment. And let me know as well, as I push the side cam here, how many of you have parts dropping all over the place, get out of no room to work with, but how many of you have to switch 1, getting switch 2? Maybe I'll put a poll up as well in the relevant places. This is the charge unit. Charge unit as I belch under my breath. The spaghetti coming back up. Spaghetti for dinner, Mario would most definitely approve. Let's close the main box here. Actually, before I close that, stick this in. Thankfully, it wasn't replaced with a brick and there doesn't seem to be any damage, despite the tape kind of ripping itself off. That houses it. All right, let's have a look, guys. So manuals first, most important information first. So this is how you set it up. It's going to be pretty elementary. It's going to connect it to your screen and do your thing. The only differences with this one is whether you're going to transfer information from your Switch 1, which is the way to go from what I've been told, or what I've seen in video online being told. Like I got told personally or something because I'm connected. But the best way you're going to want to do is use the transfer system as opposed to the other system, which is what you would do if you don't have the machine to hand or you upload to cloud. You want to have the machines close and they do a transfer like that instead. Because the other method, second method of using it by the cloud, it wipes the data from the Switch 1, which you probably don't want. So if you want to transfer, then transfer over instead with the console nearby, especially before you get rid of the console or anything like that. And there's some reasons to keep the Switch 1 still as well, but that's a separate video. Of course, there'll be people walking by making noise. Close the window. So it's your usual stuff in here. Parental guidance and safety, technical specifications, all that beautiful and good stuff. And there's information here on how to redeem. That's that in English by our website. Anyway, it says about website and so forth. You can read that if you want to and scan the QR code if you can. Like that. Then we start to get to the physical items. Let's start with the plug. Like I said, we start with the exciting stuff first for the watch time, and then go to the most boring things thereafter, like the console itself. So this is a European plug. Most of you are going to watching this are probably going to be American, my American cousins. So this is how our plugs look in the UK. You probably know already. You got the round ones. And in some other places like Asia, I think we've got the round ones in it. Most places actually. But us Europeans get this style plug. It's got quite a bit of weight to it. Quite smooth feeling, even in the gloves. And this is what goes in the back of it, I presume. Which is a USB-C. Let's see if we can open this with our bare hands. I said bare hands because I got these gloves on. There we go. That's what we're dealing with there. So it's a USB-C type plug. Looks pretty solid. Beautiful. Now let's go get it untied. So we got it untied, and it's about the typical, I'd say 3 feet. 3 to 3.5 feet. So that goes into here. Like so. Nice and easy. Beautiful. There's the plug part there. Next up we have the very sexy HDMI cable. You should always have a few of these handy in general in life, but you know, if you're into your tech, you always need a spare HDMI cable. But I think the specification is HDMI 2.1, maybe. Has to be HDMI 2.1 because it does variable refresh rate, but that's on the wireless mode only, I think. So I'm not actually sure, but it should be HDMI 2 or HDMI 2.1 cable here. If in doubt, use the original cable that you get. Shut up phone, and then watch shut up as well. I think I'm going to go with the original cable here because I've got like a lot of, it's rubbish, but like a lot of stuff, and so I want to kind of keep track of what's what and make sure everything's working. You just want to use the supply cable sometimes. So let's see what the length is here. It's probably going to be about a similar 3.5 feet standard. Yeah, it's about 3 to 3.5 feet. So imagine a 6 foot person, about half to about 2/3 of their height. That's how I measure it, at least anyway. So typical HDMI cable, good stuff, very exciting. I guess before we take out the straps for the controller, which is to get the controller out itself and then try and tell you how it feels. I might take off these gloves so I can get a real feel for it and comment on it. Yeah, I might have to take off the gloves for this part because I can't really feel the controllers like that. I can't feel it at all, really. Disk space ran out, battery died. Battery died, disk space ran out. Gloves are off, continue where we left off. So the feel of the controllers, they definitely feel more premium than the Switch Joy-Con 1 controllers. In fact, I can already say I like the look better. Feels more premium quality, as my ship freezes out there. Oops, that is weird. Yes, this looks and feels good. Like the finish. Very similar design. And obviously you got that magnetic part for when you're clipping it in, so it should be a lot easier to clip in and out. So, yeah. I feel this looks a lot more clean, a lot more professional. A lot less plastic toy and a lot more of a premium finish. I can feel it's going to get like a little bit messy because the kind of very matte sheen to it. So yeah. So yeah, much more premium controller. Triggers feel solid. Buttons feel good. Hopefully no drift problems. They said they fixed that now, so. I've not experienced it personally. I don't think I've ever had drift problems. I had like straight up stuck sticks on other consoles and things like that, but not like this kind of drift thing. Actually, maybe I have, but it's kind of more like stuck in a place. So yeah, in that sense, definitely. As I can see a bloody insect on my wall. Got it! Man, you just can't get the professionals these days. Things always interrupting you. Noise, flies, so forth. So controllers are solid, lovely. Let's take a look now at the straps that go with it. Now, I never really use these things. I'm guilty of that. Do you guys ever use the straps other than for kids? It's end up being these dangling things. I've never smashed a device or anything to need it. Looks like we're using magnets here as well, which is pretty cool. So maybe they're a lot more easier to, you know. So I don't know how we put this on, but let's try it. It's like this way. Maybe bottom down. There we go. How do you take it off again? Ah, you're just pushing this. Perfect. So from the bottom and on top like that, locked in, push down, very easy. Do you have to have this on actually? No. It feels like it's mandatory because that's the magnet. So I feel like this is mandatory. I don't know if you can take off the ropes, dangly ropes. Kind of annoying. But you'll be happy when it saves you from having to replace your HDR 4K television. So there is that. So let's get the orange one going now. So the same principle again. Get it going here. Boom. Very easy. Again, press the button underneath. Press the button underneath as the camera freezes. And then you're good to go. Perfect. Right, that was easy to do. Looks like the whole thing with this one is going to be simplicity and ease. So I'm liking what I'm seeing with all of this so far. And it feels very nice. Feels a little bit more weighty as well. Just less plasticky overall, which is great. Now let's take a look at this, which is the kind of controller mold thing that you can do with it. Now, I guess this works with rope. How do you get this rope off? I don't want this rope with it. Do you have to take this off first? I do have to take this off first, I imagine, yeah. So let's do that. Let's press it here. Take it off. And it's just going to magnet in here, I guess. Yeah, it's pulling together right away. And then I guess you push the button to demagnetize. Yeah, because one of the things with the Switch One, as you guys will know, or maybe you don't know, is really fiddly getting the stuff on and off. This is super easy. This is made for the Gen Z generation. Ouch. I actually got my finger caught in it a little bit there. The magneticness was quite strong. That's pretty wicked. Look at that. Has anyone ever actually used this? I never used the Switch one, almost a PlayStation one. The Switch one, I never used it, but this is a little fat boy. It's pretty neat. It's very slick, I'd say overall. A bit of shine there going on, as you can see. I don't know, I kind of like it, man. I'm kind of feeling it. It's got all the things going for it. Yeah, kind of feeling it. Pretty nice. Never use it. Maybe I'll actually use this handhold mode thing. You never know. Not really crazy about the dangly ropes that I can't seem to remove though. That kind of sucks. Now the base unit. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's very round. You'll notice. And very upside down. All right, so clean, slick looking again. This is one of the slickest looking Nintendo systems, I think you'll agree. It's not going to look weird with the colors and all that kind of stuff. It's going to look at home in your living room, wherever you store such things. Let's take a look here. Looks pretty slick, I think you'd agree now. So that's where the heat's going to be dissipating from, underneath. Interestingly, so maybe you don't want to put it on the carpet necessarily. So look at the ports and so forth. Have two USB ports there. Not sure if they're USB 2 or 3. Power indicator there. Logo, obviously, and everything. Does it have a unit thing at the back still? Yeah, it does. It just comes off completely now. So you have your AC adapter input there, and your HDMI out. And there is actually a LAN, which I don't think the Switch one had that, did it? At least not the. I think you had to get the newer model. I think. So that's pretty sweet. It's come standard now, if that's the case. So again, all very clean. Of course, your power is just going to go in to here like so. Nice and easily. And with consent, that's perfect. Got some sticky stuff there, get out. And then your HDMI. This HDMI, I wonder if it's long enough for myself. I think it should be actually. But we're going to use their supplied cable for now. So it just goes in this way. Now, did any of you guys have the thing that made the graphics card better on that you plug in? I've still got that on my Switch 1. I can't remember what it's called, the M-Magic or something like that. Anyway, stick that in. That will go in here normally, the M-Magic, but it won't work with it won't work and it won't be needed with the Switch 2, I'd presume. So and the LAN, I'm going to be wanting to be using that, I guess. So I'm going to stick the LAN in there, but you know where that will go. It'll go in. Why have I got tape on my fingers still? Something is shredding tape in the package or whatever. I don't know what it is, but yeah. All right, so let's close it up. You see how easy it is to close. It's plenty easy to open. I just clip it on. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Got a lot more clearance, I would say, as well. So yeah, right-sided, as you can see. It's pretty nice. And now the first least important part of it. I think we've looked at everything else here, guys. So this is the weightiest part of it. Interestingly, as you'd expect, the actual screen. Hold on a minute. Okay, so I don't want you guys picking up any background noise from Mum. So we go here. I want to make sure this bit at least has got a good voice for audio. The water going on in the background with the kitchen right bloody there, and that new boiler they put in there, so noisy. Anyway, beautiful. Looks clean. I think I just done it upside down because that looks like the vent holes at the top there. And it's just like literally like a little tablet. I forget what the screen size is. Maybe I'll fly it on the screen. Now it's at the magnet points there. as you see, very clean. I believe this is not an OLED screen, it's an LCD screen, isn't it? So we've got a pull-out point here. Very nice. This looks much more substantial than what you got with the Switch 1. Switch up the angle. It's pretty clean. Stand works really well. A lot of flexibility there. It feels very stable, as you can see there. Very sturdy, which is good. Liking that. It can go pretty high. That's at its highest level there, going flat, as you can see. Which is pretty sweet. And at its kind of near lowest level is, maybe that's about the maximum there. It's still pretty solid. Very nice. Let's get the other points of the device itself. So again, we have the ventilation, I would say here. Speaker points underneath. Power, which you can now connect like this as well instead of just in the dock, which is fantastic. You don't have to buy like an extra thing or something like that. Another USB-C input there. SD card slot here. Let's open it up. It's got an opening point here, it looks like. It just lifts out, it's pretty easy. So put your Switch 1 games in or whatever. Or is that the memory point? Game card, actually. So this is the actual game card point, as it says there. That goes in there nice and easy. Where's your SD cards go? I actually don't know where you put SD cards. But there's your volume. Power. Don't know if there's anything. Yeah. Headphone jack. So you actually got an headphone jack, which is nice. You don't always get that with these modern devices now, so respect that. I'm not sure where the memory part goes. I did not buy the SD card because it's £50. It's expensive right now. I'm just gonna have to just actually finish games. Oh wait, I think I found it. The micro SD Express slot is actually underneath the flap here, which is kind of clever. So there's your serial number apparently. Okay. So let's attach the controller parts to it. So I've got to detach it from this. Press the button underneath. And detach. Easy. Press underneath. Detach. Now I think I need to put the other bits on, don't I? To make it connect, or does it work without it? Ah, perfect. So this connects in. And then perfect. Now it looks like the big boy there is, huh? Look at that. Beefy, beefy boy. That deserves its own view. C button. Just like the N64 and GameCube days. Which will be unboxing the GameCube controller as well. So make sure you look out for that if it's not in this collection combined video version that you're watching maybe. D-pad. It's like a home button. The home button's there. The thingy-majiggy buttons there. Plus and minus. Feels really premium. I have to say, it does feel really nice actually. It feels like the most grown-up one. Like the Switch one feels kind of almost like a kid's thing. But this feels way more grown up to me. Feels way more grown up. So I'm feeling it. Yeah, very much like it. It's already getting finger marked up though. So if you're obsessed about that kind of thing, then you know what to do, because I'm not going to really do much handheld gaming This is going to be mostly desktop TV mode. So yeah. Right, now that's there. Let's stick it in. Consensually, of course. It should just drop in like that, right? Yeah, nice and easy. Wow. That's the Switch 2 console unbox part. My review, as far as I'm concerned, this is a much sleeker looking version of the Switch right away, even without turning it on. It's much more easier to use, less fiddly. If you felt like the PlayStation, why do I keep saying PlayStation? If you felt like the Switch 1 was like a toy, especially this blue and the thingy variant. I mean, look at this thing in comparison. It feels like a toy. All right, I know it looks ridiculous with my NES controller thing here, but imagine the orange on the side here. This looks like a kid's toy. You know, I almost felt self-conscious, but very cool at the same time with the original, with this one here, with the orange controller on the train. You know, all the guys like, I need to get me a Switch. But at the same time, I felt self-conscious because I didn't have the grey, kind of less understated one. I had the orange and blue one because I only one stock. I didn't want to wear. I had FOMO. And so this is what I ended up with without this bit. Imagine the normal orange part, like so. And it just always felt like a kid's toy. I don't know. I never felt like a real console, you know. But now it's premium. This is up there with like the Steam Deck as a handheld or what have you, and it's going to look pretty sweet in your living room and what have you, alongside your PlayStation, Xbox, or your PC, or whatever else you got going, or whether you have anything else going or not. It looks fantastic. Now, you guys agree? Really slick. It's definitely going to be prone to finger marking. But that's, you know, to be expected. But really slick, lots of edges and corners, and the subtleness of the blues and the orange now, rather than this kind of very much in your face, almost kind of like fairground toy. I much more prefer what they've got going on here. This is so much more better. So much more sleeker and cleaner. The way that you attach and detach the parts are really easy now and less fiddly. We're using the magnets, really slick. You could trust a kid with it. And it's got a satisfying click sound as well when you disconnect and connect, which is almost like the classic that they do, right? So, yeah, this is awesome. Bit concerned about the thing being underneath to dissipate the heat, but it's not been a problem with like the PlayStations at the back, to be fair, PlayStation 5 Pro, I think. But yeah, it's a little bit concerned that's underneath, but I think it should be fine. You're definitely going to want to make sure there's some leeway between the floor or surface and the actual holes. So you don't want to be blocking these holes up. I'd say this is to dissipate heat. Don't drop it like that as well. And everything's just rock solid. The back end part to fold it out works a lot better and gives you a lot more flexibility. You have to pay any extra for it, which is really nice. Yeah, I feel like this is, apart from the finger marking that's going on, overall this feels like, just in terms of the box and the hardware, this feels like a premium product. It feels like it's much more in line with for what they're asking for the price. I feel like it's about right for what we're getting here. As long as the performance matches and the games come with it. And if you like, you know, obviously with Nintendo, it's all about if you want to play Nintendo games and or in this generation, if you want to play games on the move, on the toilet, on the tube, as I mentioned earlier, that's going to be one of the big sales as well as ever. You know, if you want something that plays, this is going to play a lot of AAA games, as it seems, as well, like Cyberpunk and so forth. Now, yes, I know you could do that with Steam Deck and what have you, but Steam Deck is a little bit more expensive. Okay, you got the PC ecosystem, but now you're going to be able to play Mario and all that stuff legitimately. And you're going to look cool doing it. It's going to cost you almost about the same, if not a little less, but you get to play all those Nintendo IPs and have, I think you can still have, I don't know if this is capable of HDR or not. I can't remember the handheld mods capable of HDR. Some of them are going to be capable of doing variable refresh rate, I think at 120 on this mode as well. I think the battery life is similar, isn't it? Or a little bit better. So this is fantastic. And now you got the actual exposure of the charge unit, I believe there. That's going to make a difference because you put external batteries and stuff and just keep going and going and going. Get like a big unit for like £20 or something. So you have like 20,000 mAh. Put that on top. You're good to go for freaking hours and hours and hours, which is great. And you've got the earphone jack there as well. So, I mean, this is perfect for handheld mode. Yeah, as long as the games in there are fantastic. It would be nice if some other aspects of it were free in terms of the demo game thing. I call it a demo game. It says a full experience. I'm going to be buying it and showing it to you guys as well. But, you know, for the premium price, I think it's their most premium console in a long time. Very clean. And, yeah, I would give it probably about, if I was rating it just on first impressions of the slickness and so forth, because it's kind of going to be very finger marky. That's going to be a thing. But the way everything works nice and smooth and it looks clean and it looks like Nintendo without being like a kid's toy, which is oh, let me close that first, which is very nice. If it fits the bill for what you want it for and you like the Nintendo ecosystem and you want to do handheld gaming, what have you, based on just like the design and the box and everything else, this is kind of 10 out of 10. It's very simple, very clean. It's got a bit of everything you need to get going. And on that basis and how it looks and everything, I like that. So between 9 to 10 out of 10, depending on if you're looking at finger marks and depending on the person that fits for it and if you can stomach the price. So that's the unboxing part of the Nintendo Switch 2 console itself. As I dox my game download code, 20 more things to unbox at time of recording for that part, and on the screen it will be either the next parts of the unboxings of all the other different things, like got this stuff here. As I hit the mic, we've got this stuff here, we've got these, we've got these, we got these. You know what to do, subscribe and all that good stuff, because we've got loads of great stuff for you. So don't even try and pretend that wasn't worth a subscribe. Appreciate you guys. Let's go.